Today on A Common Good MTG, we're playing Orzhov Bounce. Bouncing is because we got cards like Nurturing Pixie and Scrollshift that'll bounce permanents in and out, which allows you to use them a second time. And then what else do we have in this deck? A bunch of stuff that does stuff when it comes into the battlefield, which can be then reused multiple times to make cool stuff happen. If that sounds interesting to you, then stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I'm your host and legally the Emperor of Massachusetts after I beat Charles Nelson Riley in an arm wrestling match, Dr. Yukon Socket. Yes, thank you. Film before a live studio audience. Thank you so much. Yukon Socket. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck I found over on, let's see, it was this Magic GG off the traditional standard ranked decks list for October 21. This is an Orzhov Bounce deck, and I played something like it in the past, but this is kind of have a new lineup of card. I think the last deck I played was probably from Bloomborough or something like that, because I just remember Nurturing Pixie was in it, and we were bouncing back like Hopeless Nightmare a bunch. And so this one has a bunch of stuff from Duskmourn in it, and like I say, in the playtest, it's been really good. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the cards that are in this deck. We'll talk about how the deck should work, and then we're going to go out and crush some hopes and dreams. What do we got? All right, so we are bouncing stuff. How are we going to bounce it? We got Scrollshift that says exile target artifact, enchantment, or creature you control, and then immediately return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. And then you draw a card. So we get to draw a card. We just get to take any one of these cards, take it out, put it back in, and we get whatever its enter the battlefield effect is. So we'll see that happen anyway else. Nurturing Pixie, when it comes into play, you bounce a non-land permanent back to its owner's hand. And if a permanent is returned that way, you put a Popo counter on Nurturing Pixie. So you bounce it back to your hand. There's lots of cheap stuff. You could probably even just play it immediately right afterwards. This one allows you to get it right back out for no cost. This one makes you pay for it. That's the difference between 3 and 1. But the other thing is you also get a flying dude that's most likely a 2/2. So good on us, right? All right, so there's our bouncers. What else do we got? We've got this guy who comes out and just says whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield, you put a Popo counter on a target creature. So this, you don't want to bounce this guy, but as you bounce enchantments in and out, this will trigger potentially then the multiple times, which allows you to put Popo counters on stuff like potentially the flying guy. Whoever you got out that'll do stuff, right? As this comes into the battlefield, your opponent has to discard a card and lose 2 life. So you can bounce that thing in and out. 2 cards and 4 lives. And then, if you end up sacrificing it, you get to scry a little bit. Ossification gets rid of one of their creatures or planeswalkers. But if you bounce it out, then they get it back, and then you can pick something else. But I just leave this guy alone for the most part. Sheltered by Ghosts. That's a new card. Very good. Put it on a creature. You can get rid of a non-land permanent. And that creature gets +1 and lifelink and ward 2, which is incredible. A lot of people think this card should be banned. They think it's too good. I think it's just under the line, but it is super annoying when you're playing against it. That is way too much you get for 2 mana. Way too much. I mean, that is way too much. I've said it like 4 times now. All right, Bandit's Talent forces discards. You can bounce this one in and out. It's the more expensive of the 2. Hopeless Nightmare is the better target, but in a pinch, Bandit's Talent is a good way to go before you start climbing up the level, because you want to climb up the level. Every part of this is good. At level 2, you start punishing them for having, 1 or less cards in their hand. And then if they have 1 or less cards, when you get to level 3, then you get to draw an additional card during your draw step. So that's lots of cards for you. So between card draw and punishing them for not having very much stuff, yeah. Nowhere to run, they get a 3 to a creature, and they no longer have hexproof or ward for anything, any of their guys. Scrollshift, we already talked about that. Victor, when you put out an enchantment for the first time, you get to surveil 2. If you put out a second enchantment, then an opponent discards a card. If you put out a third enchantment, then you get to take a creature from a graveyard into the battlefield under your control. And we got a lot of enchantments, and they're cheap. Ghostly Dancers, when it comes into play, return an enchantment from your graveyard to your hand or unlock a room. We don't have a room, so don't worry about that. Whenever an enchantment you control enters and whenever a fully unlocked room, create a 3/1 White Spirit. So yeah, whenever an enchantment you control enters, you get a 3/1 Spirit out of the deal. So that is fantastic. All right, I never really read this card fully. This guy, when he comes into play, you get to mill a little bit and return a non-avatar creature or planeswalker from the graveyard to your hand. Every time he attacks, that's the same thing that happens. So you're going to mill yourself a little bit. This guy could be a little hardcore. This guy will put out 2 moths anytime he attacks or enters. And if you get him out for cheap, this guy's 2 to put out, but you have to wait 5 turns to be able to get him out as a 5/5. Well, this guy, you put him out for 4 and you have to wait 4 turns. Over here, we've got this thing does a point of damage when it comes into play to an opponent. This will be fast for the first couple of turns and then slow after that. And we got a lot of regular lands after that. All right, so what are we doing? We're putting out our enchantments to screw them over, and then we're going to bounce things back as we need to, depending upon what kind of obstacles we're getting against. Eventually, we'll discard them so much they can't do anything. We'll be grinding them into the ground, and then our little tiny dudes will eventually kill them if we can't use our gigantic dudes to kill them. All right, that's the deck. It does pretty well generally. Let's go see what we can do. But before we do, let's do what we do every night. Let's say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Hands together. Dear Black Queen Shouldered, who dwells within the dark chambers of our heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear the lamentations of the women. All right, playing against degarden. Four mana. I mean, I'll play this. I'm just not a fan of it. Because I got 2 things at 2. This guy's at 4. Ooh, it's a lot of mana. All right, got him out. Get out, Victor. All right, he's just going for the kill. All right, couple little moths, little moth babies. I'm expecting to chew this guy up. He's gonna put 2 on it, make it into a 3/3. Is that it? Yeah. Then you get some life out of the deal. We can kill it with the nowhere to run. On our next turn, it'll be gone. Interesting. You're just gonna wipe the board? Nope, you just want to get rid of one of my guys, apparently. All right, mana in. How can we make this guy stronger? I don't think we can. This is going for the attack. We're getting close to where these guys are going to start to pop out. Question is, he's got a board wipe on him or not. The way this guy is playing so delayed is driving me crazy. He doesn't like my moths. Still, we can't do anything directly. It kind of sucks. Gotta chew into her. It's just being space lame. Let's see what we get out of this guy. I can play him full price. Let's just do that. I got a lot of things to bounce back with. That's not going to do me any good. This is a bad choice on my part. I'm just going to pick Victor. All right, is this the board wipe? Nope, he's just picking them off one at a time. Uh-huh. Oh, it's a ghost Jawa. Look out, everybody. There's a guy, he's got 6, he's popping. There's a dude. We can kill that guy next turn. All right, let's go kill that. Let's just put the pressure on. It's fine. All right, he's got to have a board wipe in there. He has to. It could be he just thinks he can wait. All right, let's go after his hand a little bit, as one does. Who do I have here? Lots of guys to pull. That's not cool. He's going to come after my guys. I'm the only guy. He's got nothing in his graveyard. All right, let's just chew up one of his little dudes. He's just going to chump. Yeah, let's put more good guys in the graveyard for him, huh? All right, I'll pull this just so he doesn't get it himself. All right, hopefully we've got way more than what he can put up with by putting a dude out. He's gonna look for another guy. I don't think he got anything. I think he whiffed it. A planeswalker. Still, all he's gonna be able to do is put out a little guy. It's a little chump. So I have to bounce back guys I control rather than me I own. So I'd love to just grab my Overlord back from him at that point. He's been keeping his hand full. Bandit's talent's not doing his thing against him. Well, that's the monkey's devil. I'm still going to force it. Can I do anything fast here that would be cool? No, because I see I could bounce back the Pixie. Draw, that's fine. Let's just keep going. All right, the question is, do I want to give anything up at this point? Let's just go for that. And down to 2. We got a billion guys. It's time for the board wipe, essentially. We'll put out another guy. Let's pop his... let's pop this. Let's go crazy on him. I can do one more of this. Ooh, I'm forcing the discard. Beauty. Unfortunately, I don't have the, it turned up. I am just forcing him to discard more. Nice! There we go. There's my third. He can't bring it back himself. Suck it! Shoulder the apocalypse is mine. Yep, I'm getting... You're not going to hold me back at this point. I'll shoulder it you. Draw a card, I dare you. There we go. Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! Victory! All right, playing against West. That's just his name, West. No uppercase, not a name. It's just a direction. Keep. Nope, your fish does not swim at the same circle that my fish swims at. That is against the rules. All right, let's start killing your hand. Seeing your sucker fish. You're playing what? I guess it could be just anything. It could be red at this point. Nope, we're seeing Boros here. We got a long way to go until the Bandit's talent level 2 is going to do us any good. We'll probably kill ourselves long before we get to that point. He certainly doesn't want me to have any creatures. I know where the one's not going to help me out with that too much. Hopefully I can nuke whatever he puts out that's next to it. He's just looking for something to saddle once, anything. Man, all right. Nah, that's not gonna do me good. All right, we'll just roll. Nowhere to run is a flash, so I want to keep that available right now. I guess I could have done them both. We got to get him before he can saddle. All right, let's pop this for 1. And let's force him to discard again. And discard is really hot right now. I know a lot of people hate it. I hate it when they do it effectively against me multiple times. That always is the suck. At least I can force a double up here. All right, that's 4. Excellent. We're making some progress finally. Okay, if I want to draw cards, I got to pop this up. And that's all there is to that. All right, come on. I'm not sure what the point of that was. Oh, scrying. Okay, good for you. The thing is, those big butt 4s, return from nowhere is not going to help me out at all. That will help a little bit. Can I get rid of something? And what would I want to get rid of at this point? All right, except for it's not going to work because I have enough mana for everything. I don't know. Let's see what I can do. Let's bring that back. Let's pop it again. We got to go through a lot just to kill one guy. Let's do it again. Welcome back, my friend. It's good to see you. And we got that guy there. Down to 8. We got a nice set of protectors. He's going to be a little bit on the leery side about coming after me. All right, it's going after one of my guys. Ooh, that's the guy you're going after then, huh? Nuts. And we win. And we win. Suck it, suckerfish. I picked you apart. Victory. We're playing against Wellsy. 2 mana. I gotta cast 4. These are 2s. We're gonna be relying upon the bandit's talent to do all the work. Boros again. All right, so we can get rid of that guy. He's going to put out some little dudes, though. That's the problem. See, if I was really serious about it, I should have ossified, but I wasn't even paying attention. I always decide my turn before we draw the card. All right, we gotta get rid of him in Capel. That's the problem. Boink. We'll pop that. Not that it's gonna do us any good. He's at 3, so that's good. We can get him down. I don't have any creatures. This could cost me 4. I can put it out next turn. That's not bad. Then I get sheltered by ghost something. I'm at the... I'm not going fast enough is the problem here. Alright, so we can take out somebody next turn. This is the time he puts out something good, though, and I still can't get to Baird. So things are just going to grow. I got to take it out now. Use the other shelter for dealing with the dudes we want. One. Nice. He didn't have to do it. He could have just gotten rid of one of those cards. All right, so I'm gaining 3. He's only doing 4 per turn. That's not a bad lineup here. I could pop this. I could pop the Overlord to get out 2 more dudes if I wanted to. All right, all of them are way too big at this point. Let's pop the Overlord. Ooh, he came straight back in. Well, that's pretty fantastic. I could do this as a whatever. Let's just hold off then. We'll get my life link. There we go, back up to 13. Grind and bound. I'd like to have both of them active. That'd be great, but I want to be able to keep the nowhere to run ready to go. Pop, pop. I'm down to 4. That is the suck. I mean, so I could definitely grind him by 4. All right, we'll steal the dude. Let's pop this guy first. Is that going to help? That's enough. I can kill him. All right, there we go. Yeah, that was the deal. As luckily he said good game, and he knew it before I did. Winner, winner! Victory dinner! All right, playing against SB 2112. No, I just like it when you can whistle before I can get to you. All right, well, it looks like we're going crazy on discards. Hopefully that'll work out well for us. I might have to watch this guy. Nor one can handle him until he gets... Well, he can get one more pump and then I won't be able to get him anymore. What's the deal? He likes the cards in his hand too much? Is that the deal? All right, there goes the board wipe. I gotta say, these pain lands are killing me. I'll take that back. Okay, we're getting him down low, so we can start these guys in hot on him. If he wants to play anything, yeah, there we go. He's going to take 4 points of damage next turn. All right, he's just going for the kill. All right, let's get ourselves out some little dudes. Oh, none of these up? Oh, I guess they're paying for that. I thought it was they're both up to level 3s. They're only at 2s. Or no, I mean, are they? I don't know. I know they're only at 1s. Sweet googly, I got a lot to do. All right, good. Pop. Pop. I can flash those guys in. We're okay. There we go. Let's make some real progress here. Jeez. I wish these things were easier to tell what level they are at. Like that, a little number on it or something. That would be really nice. Yikes. As I kill myself with my pain lands. Those don't deserve to be in here. He can pop another one up. Oh, look, another pain land. How fantastic. Let's kill the other one. All right, so I'm down to 4. This is horrible. Like I said, I'm going to probably just swap out these pain lands. These things are a pain in the butt. I don't need the deck that would go that fast. And we win. Not sure how we won, but we won. I think we just ground down his will to live. All right, we're playing against ZHNAGER. Huh? 2 mana, we'll see if we can make it work. I mean, there's a lot of things we do with 2 mana. All right, there's the replacement for my pain lands. Just pain for him. I'm going to turn your dog up. I don't need a whiny dog in my face. Night-night. Let's get this guy out here. What does he do? What does he? Surveil 2. Then it's discard. And lastly, pull a creature from a graveyard. All right. And this non-target permanent, this thing is always a problem. We should probably just grab it while we have the opportunity. All right, chomp, chomp, a chewy chomp. All right, level 3. Draw some cards. It looks like he wants to shoot. What's this thing got? Got a nice ward to him? That's probably what's saving his life. I don't have anything in my graveyard, so we're not going to do that. So we're just going to play our friend. Put something in our graveyard. I'm thinking we got 5 mana. That's enough. Bouncer McBouncer face. Is this your opportunity to do it now? You got enough mana? Okay, so I can return an enchantment. That is nice. Which is probably what we're about to do. Or I could double up on that guy. In this sort of way. And let's set ourselves up for another turn. That guy could mill ourselves quickly is what he could do. All right, he's down to 6. That is really good. He's got tons of... We're up to full level here, but this dude's refusing to go down below the danger zone. Danger zone, Lana! We do have a flyer. That's good. He's got too many cards in his hand. Discards would be our big advantage right now. No, he's got a flyer. That's the problem. All right. We'll put out a land. That's 1 point of damage to him. Nowhere to Run does 3, but we'll lose our dude if that happens. Scrollshift will bounce back an enchantment. Let's do that. Oh, that I control, not that I own. That sucks. I don't think I'm going to get the... I don't think Bandit's Talent's going to do what we need to do here. Yeah, we're about to get slaughtered. I mean, he's got 5 life left. I mean, that's the thing. He can't attack because he's worried about me just coming in with what I got. Both my guys fly. He's got to keep the Dragonhawk back. He's got a flying saddler back there. We got to worry about. 2/2. I can always know where to run it. All right, we've lost. I can't get out of this at this point. He's down low, though. Or maybe I can win it. Here we go. Let's just do this. So get rid of a card in his hand. He's going to lose by 2. Let's pop it and do it again. And then because he has so little cards, when he draws, he will die. He will unalive himself. It'll be fantastic. Here we go. No attacks. Everything's cool. Have a good time. And we win. Boom, boom. Goes the room. Victory. Here we are playing Orzhov Bounce, and it was a great deck. It was really good. All right, so yeah, we ended up getting an 80% win rate with this deck. That was really good. What was great about this is it seemed like, I mean, with the bounces that you had, which was what, Scrollshift and Nurturing Pixie, it seemed like we were able to focus on what we needed to focus on. So whether it was Nowhere to Run to get that -3/-3, or Bandit's Talent to force them to discard. I really didn't like Bandits in this one. I was really hoped this Nightmare was usually much better because it forced them to discard a card just like Bandit's Talent did, but also made them lose 2 life. So between that, we were able to bounce it in, force them to discard 2 cards and 4 life with just a Nurturing Pixie in between there. And they were really cheap. The Overlords being enchantments were really easy. I could bounce those guys in and out if I needed to go digging for stuff. There was a lot of utility there. Altogether, it felt like it was the perfect balance. Like, I think the only thing I did was that I ended up getting rid of the pain lands. I know they're not true pain lands, but the ones that cost you 1 mana every time you use them for their color. I was killing myself with that. In fact, I mean, it just was horrible. So I ended up replacing them with the deserts. Still, they were slow, but you know what? This deck doesn't, it's not that aggro. It doesn't really require it. Yeah, that's the only thing that was slow. Everything else is relatively fast, so I can afford to come out slow on turn 1 and then come in hard on turn 2 and then just keep pressing it from that point forward. This deck seemed to really get out the Overlords, which was nice, which is weird because there's only 2 of each in there, and yet somehow it felt like there was a billion of them because I kept getting them constantly. I don't know how that worked out. Maybe it's because of good, did we have card draw or something? I don't know. Didn't seem that way. All right, so let's go ahead and run it down. Who was the MVP? Who was the most valuable player? I'm going to give it to, I gotta say, Victor was fantastic, but he's not going to be the most valuable player. I just managed to play 3 different card enchantments in a turn, and I ended up getting back shouldered out of the deal. That was so incredibly good. It might be Bandit's Talent. Nurturing Pixie with bouncing things back is cool, but Bandit's Talent, I think, really had the value. I'm going to give it to Bandit's Talent. I think that it generally did the best job. You know, basically, you have to force people down to where they're playing pretty much right out top decking because they have nothing else going on. And then you're just grinding them down. You get a couple of these out, they're losing 4 life per turn. You get up to level 3, you start drawing cards like crazy. Yeah, Bandit's Talent is just the bee's knees and does a fantastic job. I got to say, I'm like looking back at these from Bloomborough, the talent cards have been top notch. And I'm glad that they're not being banned like the ley lines. This guy is pretty, look how cheap he is. It's 2 to put out, 1 to play level 2. And then level 4 is only or level 3 is only a 4 mana deal. That's usually not so hard to pull together. All right, so yeah, Bandit's Talent, you are MVP. You are going to Disneyland. Congratulations. All right, was this deck competitive? Yes, it was. We ended up getting an 80% win rate with this deck. I mean, it felt like 100%. I mean, I barely even remember even the losses at all. Like, the only thing I didn't like was the fact that I kept, for some reason, pulling the pain lands, which don't exist in this deck anymore, and I was just grinding myself turn after turn after turn. Anything I'm trying to do myself, I was just killing myself. And this deck doesn't have enough life gain to be able to afford that, and we didn't need to go aggro enough to be able to take it down that way. The control was good. Going after people's hands, killing their stuff, pinning down their things, and then lastly, getting out your guys. Yeah, this was a decent deck. 80% was totally good. Was it fun? Yeah. No, I really liked it. I mean, it was a control deck, but it wasn't like how I say this. I like controls where it's very tailored. I guess if I was getting picked off by it all the time, I would hate it. The control in this one really is about hand hate. There's a lot of hand hate here. I mean, it's just Hopeless Nightmare, Bandit's Talent. I think that's it. That's crazy. But yet it feels like we are forcing them to discard like crazy. But it's because we can do Nurturing Pixie and Scrollshift to bounce those things out and back in all we want. Nowhere to Run helps take out creatures. I mean, go up to like 6s on that, and that's just incredibly cool. The fact there's only 1 Victor in there, that's fine. He's not that great, but he is great to have one of them out. So altogether, it's cool. The only card I wasn't sure about was this Ghostly Dancers. I mean, it is a good card. Too many words for me to read. I got to say, I just have not digestive this thing does. I think I had it out. It did something okay once. It was fine. I'm not sure. There's only one of it. I don't believe in singleton cards. They shouldn't be in decks. Yet here we are. We got a couple of singletons just sitting around. Because what's the chances of you pulling them? It's 1 out of 60. It just isn't worth it. You can't plan on it at all. Still, it was a fun deck. It was way to go. All right, was this deck interesting? Well, I mean, I played a Pixie deck before, a bouncy deck. And was it this deck? I don't quite remember. I mean, I know that, yeah, when you get Nurturing Pixie, you have Hopeless Nightmare. I know that, what else do I bounce in and out? Like, this is new, because I think the last time I played it, I don't think Duskmourn was out yet. So I think I might have been, I don't think it was Ossification either. Yeah, I think it was just Nurturing Pixie and Helpless Nightmare. I think we're playing the Tithe or something, Tithing Knife. Yeah, Tithing Knife is super kick-ass as well. But, in fact, is it better than Nowhere to Run? Because it actually forces them to sacrifice. Oh, I don't know. Tithing Knife might be the thing to put in here rather than Nowhere to Run. I don't think they'll be able to both way. This one keeps you from them having ward. And that is super, super cool. Like, no hexproof, no ward. Maybe you go 2 Tithing Knife, 2 Nowhere to Run, just for a little bit of variety there. But anyways, I thought it was interesting. I like the lineup. I like this way better than the version of a deck we played before. I think that playing with the Duskmourn cards in here, this thing was kick-ass. It was really good. All right, so let's add that up. Was this deck competitive? Absolutely. Was this deck fun? Yes. Was this deck interesting? Totes my goats. All right, so that makes this into an A+ deck. And as I'm required by federal law to say, this deck is so choice. I would highly recommend you pick one up, should you have the means. All right, that's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. See you next time, Space Cowboys. Later.